Okay, we're going to make a foldable. So you're going to take a piece of printer paper and fold it over and make a triangle. That. And then you're going to double that, triangle back, so that it looks like this. Okay, we're going to take that flap, and we are not cutting the flap off. Not cutting off the flap. I'm going to leave it. Okay, so you need to take some scissors and cut up from the edge to the center on only one side. Okay. So you have a piece of paper. It looks like this now. And we're going to take this and fold it over like that. Make yourself a little pyramid. So you need a little piece of tape. And putting the tape inside it. Okay, so you have a pyramid now. And you're looking down on the top of it. You take your pyramid, fold it over on the flap, double it like this. So I've got it just laid down, fold it carefully like that, and it over like this. Okay. So this is a foldable for elements, compounds, and mixtures. And we'll title it right here. And the symbol for element is an E with a little degree sign. Okay, elements, compounds, and mixtures. Symbol for compound is a C with a slash over it, and this is just my own little symbol for mixture. Elements, compounds, and mixtures. Alright, so we'll start with elements. So, elements. Yeah. Elements. Okay, one thing that you need to know about elements is that they can be found on the periodic table of the elements. So that might be an important thing to write down. Okay, they're found on the periodic table of the elements. Elements are only one kind of atom. They're only one kind of atom. Okay, they can be single atoms, okay, so they can be single or individual atoms, or they can be molecules. For instance, the oxygen molecule. Okay, because remember, the definition of a molecule is more than one atom. But if they're the same kind of atom, it's still an element. Okay, in order to separate the bonds, you have to have a chemical reaction. Okay, in order to separate the bond, you have to have a chemical reaction. Okay, elements are called pure substances. Okay, so you can stop this or whatever you need to do to take your notes. Okay, on this side, take your flap, fold it over. We've got compounds. Okay. Compounds are more than one kind of atom. And the atoms are chemically bonded. And since there's more than one kind of atom and they're chemically bonded, it requires a chemical reaction to separate. Okay? Compounds are also called pure substances. Just like elements are referred to as pure substances. Okay, so an example of a compound would be, for instance, water. Okay, different kinds of atoms, more than one kind of atom, chemically bonded. Another one would be carbon dioxide. Okay, once again, chemically bonded, and in order to break this bond, you need a reaction. And these are different kinds of atoms. Something else about a compound is that they will have a chemical formula. Okay, so H2O, CO2, C12, H22O11. Okay, so these, if it's got a chemical formula with more than one kind of atom, it's a compound. And then the last is going to be mixtures. Put mixtures down over here. Oh, pen done right. Okay. So the thing about mixtures is they are different substances mixed together. They are not chemically bonded. Different substances mixed together, not chemically bonded. Since they're not chemically bonded, no chemical reaction is required to separate them. So, can be separated by physical means. Okay, so on the molecular level, a mixture might look like this with some, we'll say the atmosphere. That's an example of a mixture. Okay, the atmosphere is going to have some atoms of argon. It's going to have some carbon dioxide. Okay, so there's CO2. It's going to have some water. Okay, it's going to have some nitrogen. Okay, so it's going to have different things, but these substances are not bonded to each other. So I don't have to have a chemical reaction to separate them out. So it's easy to separate them physically. Some methods that we're going to be using are distillation, chromatography, filtration, And let me refer back to this atmosphere example I've got up here. So there's also going to be smoke, ash, dust. Okay, all of these things make up the atmosphere. Some examples of mixtures that you need to know are soil, seawater, the atmosphere, rubbing alcohol, like if it's a 70% rubbing alcohol solution, that's a percent sign. We've got the atmosphere, soil, seawater, blood is a mixture. Okay, so then this goes in your lab book on page 42. Page 42 in your lab book. So you're going to take your flap. It's not going to fit that way. So just get a little tape or glue, and you want to just see, all I'm doing is taping across the edges, right here, right here, and right here. Okay, so it's on page 42, taped in like that, and then you can use that for your notes, and you can update your table of contents. 38. Okay, page 40 is your white powders lab. Wait a minute, 38. Hold on. Ooh. Page 38 is your white powders lab, and then this is foldable on elements, compounds, and mixtures on page 42. So we'll go stick something on page 40 later. Okay? Sorry if the audio quality is bad, but there you go.